Activity 4. Listen, read, and sing. Work.
What does your father do? What does your mother do? What does your brother do? What do they do? What does your father do? He's a doctor. He's a doctor. He's a doctor. Yes, he is. I wanna be a doctor. I wanna be a singer. I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be a farmer. I wanna be a dentist. I wanna be a chef. I wanna do it all. What does your father do? What does your mother do? What does your brother do? What do they do? What does your mother do? She's a singer. She's a singer. She's a singer. Yes, she is. What does your father do? What does your mother do? What does your brother do? What do they do? What does your brother do? He's a teacher. He's a teacher. He's a teacher. Yes, he is. What do you like to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to be? Please tell me. I wanna be a doctor. I wanna be a singer. I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be a farmer. I wanna be a dentist. I wanna be a chef. I wanna do it all. What does your father do? What does your mother do? What does your brother do? What do they do? What does your father do? What does your mother do? What does your brother do? What do they do?
Good morning. How are you today? I'm wonderful because today is Monday. We love Mondays. It's the first day of the school week, so we're back at school. Is this school? You don't see this at school. Are we still having class on the internet? Okay, that's fine. I'm still happy because we have class. Class is a good thing. And today, we're talking about boats. Do you have a boat? I have 2 boats. Okay, they're not my boats. They're just stickers. Animated stickers. Now, we're not talking about boats. We're talking about a job. Unit 8, work. We talked about the vocabulary many times, so we're going to add some new vocabulary, new jobs. And this is a job that many people in Taiwan have. What do you think it is? Well, before we talk about that, let's talk about bikes. Not this bike, this bike. Are they the same? No. This bicycle does not have a motor. This motorcycle, it's a bike. It's a motorbike because it has a motor. Do you know what a motor is? A motor is very loud and it makes you go fast. I'll say that again later just to help you remember. But let's go back to the boats. One of these is a motorboat, and the other one is a sailboat. I think you know sailboat, but did you know motorboat? Well, goodbye sailboat. Let's bring in another boat. Is it a motorboat? No. Because, is it loud? No. The motor is very loud. Just like a motorcycle, a motorboat is very loud. This boat, it has two names. You don't have to know. It's a canoe. Old people like me, we say canoe. But young people, they say kayak. I do like this word because K-A-Y-A-K, and then backwards, K-A-Y-A-K. Kayak, kayak. So it's easy to remember how to spell. But we're not talking about the kayak. We're going to kill the kayak. We're just talking about motorboats, motorcycles. We're talking about motors. And who makes the motor? Well, that's the job we're going to talk about today. So, right now you don't need your book. We're going to review the vocabulary, but don't look at your book, just look at me. Well, not my face. Look at the screen. Your computer screen, your phone screen, your iPad screen. Whatever you're using to watch class, that's what you look at, and I will show you the vocabulary. Are we ready to learn about motors and boats? Okay, we're going to do a different way to review. So we'll start with an easy one, then we'll do the new vocabulary, and then we can do more, okay? Look at your screen.
Okay, we're going to start with a very easy one, a farmer. Ready? He is a farmer. Now let's answer the question, what does he do? Ready? He farms. Well, that was very easy, but is there another answer? Yes, there is. How about this? He takes care of animals. But I think that was too easy. So let's change. We're not going to say takes care. Ready? He raises animals. What does that mean, raise? Like raise your hand? Well, yes. It's the same word, and it's the same thing. Your parents raise you. They are raising you right now. Because what does raise mean? It means to go up in the air. So you started as a baby, but then you grow taller. You're raising up. So they raise the animals from the baby cow to the mother cow to a milk cow. Or what about vegetables or fruit? What if there's no animals on the farm? It's just the food coming out of the ground. They grow food. Can you say they raise food? It does not sound good to say raise food. Let's learn a new word. Crops. He raises crops. She raises crops. The farmer raises crops. Everything that grows on a farm is a crop. Maybe rice is a crop, or carrots, or tomatoes, jalapenos. Anything growing on a farm is a crop. So, you raise animals, you raise crops, and your parents raise you. Pretty good. Now we're going to learn a new word for a job. But this word is for two jobs, and they're very different. So, let's start with motor. Do you remember motorcycle and motorboat? What is a motor? I think you know what a motor is. It's something very loud, and it makes the car, the motorcycle, the boat, it makes it go fast. But the motor is just one small part of something bigger. I want you to say engine. Wait a minute. Do you already know this word, engine? Remember, a fire engine. Yes, It's the engine that makes the car go, that makes the fire truck go. So, the motor is just one part of the engine. Now, you know the word engine? So what is the job? I want you to say engineer. Say it again. Engineer. Now, this is a job that we love in Taiwan. Taiwan has many engineers. Maybe your mother or father is an engineer. If you're an engineer, it means you're very good at math. So, the engineers help make buildings, roads, or anything else that you like. When you walk into a restaurant, an engineer helped them make their restaurant. I think they also help make engines. That's why they're called engineers. But I'm not sure, so go ask a real engineer. Don't ask me. But there's another job called engineer. What do you think it is? The first engineer is called that because they make the engine. The other engineer is called that because they use the engine. Do you think it's the engine in a car, or an airplane, or a boat? Nope. It's a train. An engineer is the one you see driving the train. Look at him. He looks so happy and very handsome. Remember I said Taiwan has many engineers. Do you think it's the one driving the train or the ones making the engine for the train? It's the one making the engine for the train, so you need to pay attention in math class because your parents want you to be an engineer. It's time for a new vocabulary word, another job. Ready? But first, what did you eat for dinner last night? Did you eat meat or vegetables? Or maybe you ate fish? Well, who gave you the fish? Did your mother give it to you? Your father? Or did you swim in the ocean and catch it with your teeth? Or you catch it with your hands? Did you really catch it with your hands, or are you lying to me? No. Somebody had to catch the fish and then bring it to your house. What do we call these people? Well, if it's one person, it's a fisherman. If it's many, fishermen. So remember, if you like to eat sushi, and I know you love to eat sushi, you need to say thank you to somebody. Say thank you to the fishermen, because they catch the fish, and then they bring it to you so you can have dinner. So a very fast grammar review. What does he do? He is a fisherman. Where does he work? He works on a boat. And what does he do at work? He catches fish. Now let's do one that will be easy, but let's add a little bit more vocabulary to make it new. We're now in space. Outer space. And what do we see in outer space? Aliens? No, there are no aliens. Well, maybe. But we're talking about astronauts. So, let's make this one female, because the fisherman was a male. What is she? She is an astronaut. Where does she work? She works in outer space. And what does she do at work? She does science. But wait, what are the things we do in science? We learned about this back when we were doing the listening about the space station. Experiments. When you're doing something in science, you're doing a test. It's a test to see what will happen, and the science test is called a science experiment. I think you remember this, but if you don't, that's okay. That's why we're doing it now. So, does the astronaut do a science experiment in space? Well, maybe, but most of the time it's in the space station. And what is there in the space station? Or wait, not what is in the space station. What is not in the space station? There's something we have on Earth, but they don't have in space. Gravity. Do you remember gravity? What goes up must come down. The Earth is pulling you down. So every time you jump up, it pulls you back down. Every time you throw a ball in the air, the Earth pulls it back down. That is called gravity. There is no gravity in space or on the space station. That is why astronauts can fly. Because on Earth, an elephant is very heavy and an ant is very light. But in space, they are both the same. They are equal. They're where nothing. So you can pick up an elephant and throw him in outer space. But please do not throw elephants. That is not polite. Okay, let's do one more. This is a job we talked about a lot already, but there was new vocabulary, so let's do it again. A scientist. Now, we remember what a scientist is. Do you have science class? You have English class, Mandarin class, but do you have science class? I think you have science class, but if you don't, then you will have it next year. Ready? Let's make this a male. What does he do? He is a scientist. Where does he work? Do you remember the answer? Ready? He works in a lab. We're just putting a period after lab. That answer is good. Do you have to say the long word? Laboratory? No, it's okay if you don't say laboratory. You can just say lab. He works in a lab. But wait, where is the lab? Is there a lab in school? Well, maybe not elementary schools, but later you will go to high school, and I think you will have a science lab. Are there science labs in other places, in other buildings? Yes. Wait a minute. We said astronauts are scientists. Is there a science lab in the space station? Yes, there is. That's where they do what? They do experiments. Number 3. What does he do at work? He does experiments. Science experiments. I have a question. How does Iron Man fly? Is it because of his suit? Yes. But who made the suit? A scientist made his suit. Wait a minute. Tony Stark is Iron Man, and he made the suit. Is he a scientist? Yes, he is. Tony Stark, Iron Man, is a scientist. So, do we like scientists? Yes. Do we like science? Yes, we love science. Remember, that is how Iron Man flies. Because of science. Maybe very soon we can do science experiments in class. And if you cannot come to school because of the virus, we can do them together here on YouTube. Homework is good. Video games are bad.